Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Had King Ghidorah Powers movie. Before we start, please go support God of Hope for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistaken character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. Years ago, during the Great War between the factions, something altered the course. He was a being that caused havoc wherever and to anyone. The factions, with the help of the celestial dragons, fought against that being, and thanks to many sacrifices, they managed to defeat it. That being swore to return. Issei was hurt by Fenrir's bite, but what he doesn't know is that someone waited for that opportunity to act. "Who are you?" asked a brown-haired boy. "I am Gadora." Prologue. Issei felt weak. He couldn't even take Thor's hammer. Now he was dying thanks to Fenrir's fearsome bite. I hated him. I hated being weak. He hated that his teammates would risk themselves for him. He hated not being worthy of being by his mistress's side. Rias. While she held him in her arms, desperately trying to keep him from dying. I hated to see her tears. But above all, he completely hates Loki, that bastard who, with a solution, reminded him why he can't open his heart to the girls who love him. She reminded him of the girl he once loved, and now he hates her with all his soul. I just wanted to be strong. He wanted to destroy Loki. No. I wanted to kill him. I wish to be able to. Incredible how much hate there is for your impotence. You are the one to be my heir. Who are you? I am. Ice, please resist. And just when she thought of giving him the phoenix tears, something happened. Issei's body began to exude golden electrical energy. The bite wound closed completely. She walked away when she felt the rays were very dangerous without knowing what was happening. The chestnut tree levitated, surrounded by rays that reached the ground and the sky. The creatures stopped their fights as they felt an overwhelming power. Even Fenrir felt something he shouldn't have felt at that moment. Fear. Everyone present looked at the origin, even the god of deception looked on, curious about that power. But without knowing it, he began to sweat and shiver as a terrifying cold ran down his spine. And with the skies forming into black clouds and golden rays that fell brutally to the rocky ground. The chestnut that used to be. Now he's blonde. And a strange energy appeared covering Issei, but he began to take shape. Two huge and immense wings that just by lifting them make it more majestic. Two long tails with a spiked ball that with a single blow can break the most powerful defense. A very strong body and very powerful legs to make great jumps. And the most outstanding thing about that being. Three elongated heads and necks with golden rays coming out of their mouths that would destroy everything within their reach. Not everyone understood why the chestnut tree that had previously been at the gates of the afterlife had now transformed into a being they had never seen in their lives. Rias didn't understand. Did her beloved show a new power? Who the hell are you? The god tried to appear confident, but in front of the enormous 20-meter tall beast he couldn't do it. I am Gadora. The rise of a titan. The huge golden beast roared. The wolves instinctively retreated out of fear. The huge snake did too. The god trembled with fear. And the young demons, along with Arena and the Valkyrie, began to fear the worst. Fear that the chestnut tree is no longer the same as before. The three heads stopped roaring and looked at the god with hatred. Something he noticed. Foolish creature, do you think you can intimidate me with just power? I am a god and you are just a monster. Attack. He ordered his children and they obeyed with doubt. The wolves, Hadi and Skoll, launched a joint attack, but the enormous being easily hit them with its tails, sending them to the ground and crushing their heads with them. It was so fast that it took a few seconds for the minds of the Grimoire Citri and the Angel and Valkyrie to process. Issei killed those wolves like it was nothing. Was the question of the blonde knight that no one answered. What kind of thing is that? I don't know, I've never seen anything like it. It looks like a dragon, but its power is I don't know how to explain it, is what the heiress Citri said to her pawn. Ice. Rias looked with a hand on her chest, fearing that her beloved would lose his mind. The titan waved the tips of his blood-soaked tails like rattles, waiting for the next one to die. The snake launched itself at high speed, biting the neck of the main head and coiling its elongated body around the golden titan, who began to fight to free himself, while Fenrir launched himself to bite him near the throat of the left head. The same titan fought back, biting both of them and crashing into the rock pillars with them. It seemed like I couldn't do it. What's wrong? Can't you do anything with my powerful children? Said the god arrogantly when he saw the titan being subdued, but seeing him like that, a macabre idea occurred to him. Maybe you can be useful to me to start Ragnarok. Don't let go of my children. I'm going to make him an ally by manipulating his mind with nightmares. The god approached the central head that looked with hatred and desire for blood, but someone stepped in, expelling a lot of destructive aura. If you give him another nightmare, I'm going to be furious. It was Rias who distilled a lot of hatred and resentment towards the god. Rias, Grimoire, are you standing in the way of a god? I don't care if you're a god, I could see the nightmare you gave him, and let me tell you one thing, I thank you. That baffled the evil god. Why do you thank me? Because in that nightmare I could see the reason why my beloved Ice can't open his heart to me. I could see that I've been doing things the wrong way, but above all I could see that at the rate I was going I could lose him. She was telling the truth. In the nightmare he could see who was the cause of all his anguish. Rainer. The same fall that he personally eliminated. But even when dead he does not leave her in peace, and even more so her beloved Ice. She could see that the brown-haired boy was afraid that she and her friends would abandon him for others, and that what Rainer said between each nightmare would become true. You have no right to be loved, in the end just like me they will hurt you, and end up doing what should have happened when they stabbed you, killing you. She was desperately in that nightmare and screamed at him that it wasn't true, that he shouldn't believe her, that she loves him and wants to be with him. And after leaving that nightmare she could see him with a wound that Fenrir made him, and she desperately wanted to avoid losing him. Now she sees her beloved turned into what many would call Titan. Struggling to break free. Her. He didn't care that that monster was his Issei. What matters to her is that her Issei needs her. And she is willing to protect him from the evil god. I won't let you hurt him. Really? You and how many? Us. Everyone surrounded the god, and their expressions were full of hatred towards him. Ready to face it for their friend. Tiba Zenobia, use your swords and try to help Ice Kaneko, try to help Akeno prepare your most powerful attack. They immediately obeyed, and both knights along with the lowly tower went to the Titan's aid while Akeno prepared her best attack. Do you think they'll be able to? The god didn't finish speaking when he was attacked with a sphere of destruction by Rias. Haven't they told you that you're annoying when you talk? While the Titan was still struggling to free himself, but the bite of both beasts was strong. I didn't know what to do. Until the blue sword stabbed into the wolf's neck and another grey sword stabbed into the snake's neck. They were both gentlemen. The middle head looked at both of them and then looked at the white-haired girl who approached his snout. Senpai, we are here to help you. She tried to touch him, and at the moment she did so she could feel something that she didn't think she would feel in her senpai. Hate. He distilled a lot of hatred directed at God and the creatures. He was blinded by that feeling. Like a beast without reason. Senpai, she screamed, and the Titan roared at her, making her retreat in fear and dread. It's the same as Kurokan-sama, at this rate the power will consume him. The knights tried as hard as they could but were beginning to despair as they feared for their friend. And the worst thing was that the others could not contain the god any longer. Damn if Loki takes control of Issei-kun. It's over, damn it, let him go, you stinking wolf. Zenobia finished, trying with all her might to free the one who will be the father of her children. Nothing worked. Akeno looked on in despair, and with her charged attack, she aimed at Loki's children. I'm going to free you, Issei-kun. But what happened next nobody expected. The free head looked at Akeno and quickly brought her snout closer to the raven, and with her tongue she caught it, rolling it up. Wait, Issei-kun, what are you doing? And without wanting to, she unleashed her power, but that power. He was being drained. He's taking all my electric magic. And already running out of magic, she was released, and the Titan with a lot of power coming out of his body and his wings managed to fly, taking with him the two children of Loki and leaving Kiba and Zenobia. The four watched as the Titan disappeared into the black clouds. And without knowing, the clouds were loaded with lightning as it jumped from one cloud to another. As for the god, he defeated Irina and Ross, and Gasper could no longer help, as well as Sona, Tsubaki and Saji. Rias released the power of destruction in the form of lightning from her palms in front of a barrier that the god put up, but then her hands up to the elbow were filled with destruction, and with these she hit the barrier, sending Loki over a mountain. But it didn't end there, but with the same technique he hit the god in the face. The god recovered, and I saw that he was bleeding a little. Congratulations, you made me bleed. And with the magic power of a slap he sent her flying until she crashed into the rocks. It hurt him. But he couldn't stop. But she couldn't move either because she was too hurt and not used to fighting hand to hand. The god approached, enjoying the helplessness that the Redeed felt. Rias Gremory, your death will help me start Ragnarok, so I thank you for offering to be the sacrifice of my final era. Loki expected her to beg for mercy, but he only saw her smile. Something that puzzled him. You don't know it, but the storm came and looked at the sky. The god did it too, and he was shocked to see how his two sons fell dying and burned. Reek. And descending behind him appeared the Titan, but more furious. And more so when seeing the state of the Redeed. He unleashed many lightning bolts that danced in the clouds. The god was now cursed as he could not control it while being free from the oppression of his children. Just when he thought of attacking with magic, the Titan sent the god flying with a blow of his wing, crashing him into a mountain. Leaving the unconscious for a while. Everyone recovered and looked terrified, thinking that the Titan was going to devour the Redeed. Ice. The three heads slowly approached her. They stared at her for a few seconds without doing anything. But The central head with its snout touched her delicately, while the other two looked at her docilely. Rias touched the beast's nose with her hands and lovingly caressed it. Eyes. The beast growled quietly. Everyone looked on in disbelief as the beast that had previously exuded hatred everywhere now became tame at the touch of a lady. Rias, on the other hand, was not afraid. Every time she touched him she felt safe and strong. Every time she had him by her side she wished for nothing more than for him to never leave her. How could I leave him when he is the one who makes me feel alive and unique, when he is the one who was there for me in my worst moments? Many say that he doesn't deserve me, but the truth is that I am the one who doesn't deserve him. With these thoughts she sheds a few tears. She knew that her attitude was not helping her with her problem and she wanted to change. Change to be happy by his side no matter what adversity he has to go through. All to be by your side. The other heads also touch her, wanting her attention, and she gladly touches them. She is happy. Happy to have your attention. But that moment ended when a fire attack approached them. The Titan covered her with his wings so that those flames would not touch her. He looked and saw that it was the evil god who returned to the attack and now wants revenge. Damn monster. He attacked again, and the Titan covered himself with his wings, while the left head with his tongue took Rias and took her to the others, to the blonde bishop. I leave it in front of her. And he returned to battle. Issei, wait, Issei, don't fight. The Keno and Sona held her back so she wouldn't hurt herself more than she already was. The Keno, let me go now. You're in no condition to fight, you have to heal. I don't care, I have to help Ice. Listen to your queen Rias and let Haidu-kun take care of this. Sona tried to reason with her. While the same god with earth spells launched avalanches at the Titan, but he didn't even flinch. The three heads arched like snakes and simultaneously attacked him, and the god defended himself with a magic shield, but it didn't last long. When the shield was destroyed, powerful tails struck it until it crashed to the ground. Enough. The god stood up and looked angrily at the Titan. I am a god, you foolish creature, and you and all of you are beneath me. I hope to scare him, but… The throats of the three heads lit up as if they were about to vomit something. There is no… And without expecting it, three powerful lightning bolts struck the god, making him suffer like never before. Everyone was looking. And more Akeno, since she could notice that that attack was really powerful, more powerful than that of her father or that of a god. When the attack ended, you could see the god lifeless. He's dead, Loki is dead. The Titan roared at the sky, expelling many rays from his three mouths and from the tips of his wings. Demonstrating their supremacy. His roar alone made the earth tremble, and the skies became unstable due to the golden lightning. It was obvious. The Titan won. Incredible, Haidu defeated a god, said the pawn Citri, unable to believe it. Issei-kun is now powerful, Kiba said, being somewhat scared but at the same time proud of his friend. Senpai Kaneko was worried. When the beast stopped roaring it looked at the sky and then fell due to exhaustion. Something they noticed. Ria's weight. Everyone saw how the Redeed with her wings went straight towards the Titan that was on the ground. As he approached he saw a golden flame appear from behind and someone emerged from it. It was Issei, who had some golden flames on some parts of his body. As the body of the huge Titan was consumed by the golden fire. When she arrived she hugged him, having the worst. She desperately put her ear to listen to her heart, her tears threatened to come out when she managed to hear its beats. Rias. She looked at him even though he was unconscious, he prioritized her well-being before his own. Eyes. And hugging him tightly she let out her tears, being happy not to lose him and being happy to know that he loves her. While the rest watched. Not knowing that with the awakening of Titan Zero, it is a matter of time before the true owners of the world wake up. And claim what belongs to you. Nights of making and love. It was darkness. There was only darkness. It's what surrounded Issei, who barely came back to his senses. What happened? I try to think. But he couldn't see something he didn't expect to see. It was Drag fighting. But the being much larger than him. That being made the dragon who was now hurt retreat. Drag, what the hell is going on? Partner, you have to get out of here, he wants. You're finally here. That being with his power drove away the dragon, leaving the most injured. Who are you? The being showed its face, but another face came out and another one. Three heads staring at the teenager in a disturbing manner. I am the envoy of the end and the one who must be Alpha. I am Gadora. The chestnut tree was terrified. He feared for his life. But the dragon protected him with his wings. You will not touch my companion Gadora, you should have died that day. You along with Albion and the pathetic factions did not understand that I am the Alpha, I am the end, and just like the end I am inevitable. The monster arrogantly approached Issei. But he bravely stood up to him. I don't believe that. And without knowing it, golden rays ran through his body ready to face him. Something surprised the Titan since he was not supposed to be able to control his power. The symbiosis began. I don't know who you are, but the only thing I'll tell you is that I won't let you do whatever you want just like you say you're the end. I'll be the one to keep you in line. You say you're inevitable. Well, I'll tell you that I am Sekiro. Issei's power increased, pushing Gadora back. And with Drag's help the Titan backed away enough so that the doors of a cage with golden bars stood between the three of them. And in the middle of the door a red seal appeared. It was the seal of the Gremory house. The beast roared in fury, knowing that he will not be able to take possession of the boy. Damn them, very soon they will come, and that is when I will be free. Remember it, I am inevitable. Rias. And without further ado. The beast was locked up. While the chestnut tree falls to the ground due to the effort, helped by the dragon. Darkness again. Opening his eyes, the light of the full moon bothered him. Once he got used to it he could see that he was in a hospital bed. And next to me in that bed was someone. Rias, who was sleeping and had not separated from him, woke up when she felt movement in the bed. When my vision cleared, I saw that my beloved dragon finally woke up. Good morning, Butchu. She smiled and then threw herself into his arms and cried on his chest, his warm chest. The brown-haired boy, on the other hand, did not know why his mistress hugged him that way, but he did not care much. He liked to have her in his arms. I thought you wouldn't wake up. I was very worried about you. Calm down, Butchu, I'm fine now. They both felt the scent and essence of each other calmed one. Issei loves her. Rias loves him. Why do many alternate universes and dimensions, all their versions, suffer and fall into disgrace? That is just the whim of hypocritical gods who like to see them suffer. A few minutes passed and now they were both talking. Ice, do you remember anything about what happened in the battle against Loki? He didn't know what to say to her, so he was honest. Yes, I remember everything, even how I let myself be controlled by that feeling of hate and rage for not being able to do anything. Ice. Please forgive me, Butchu. Loki brought out the worst in me, and it's something I don't want to do again. I'm scared that he'll hurt you and my friends. I'm a monster. Iridid looked down. It hurt him. And even more so when she saw how tears came out of her beloved's eyes and fell onto the sheets of the hospital bed. I couldn't stand it. So with her delicate hands she wiped the tears from his cheeks and looking at him with a smile. Ice, you are not a monster. If you had been you would have hurt us all equally, but in that state you were able to recognize me, and you did not attack me. You promised me and defeated a god. You are more than what you say you are. You are not a monster, you are a titan. The titan. The titans were superior to the gods. They ruled everything with their great power, and I know that you are one, so I don't want you to call yourself a monster again, because if you do I will make you understand, either by good or by bad means, that for me you are the best thing that has ever happened to me in life. He couldn't believe it. In fact, I didn't know what to say. The girl he had been dreaming of had already begun to have such deep feelings for him and was confessing to him. I wanted to answer. I wanted to kiss her. I wanted to tell him everything that my heart held. But, would you die for me? Those words. They were his torment. They were the source of his pain. Or his curse. This is what happens when you give in to your feelings, which are a waste of time, and Alpha needs nothing more than just power. She will eventually leave you, and her words are like a storm, destruction in her wake. Partner, don't listen to her, she's not lying to you, it will kill you like that fallen hitch. Stop with the nonsense and be what you are destined to be inevitable. Partner. The chestnut tree, out of fear and terror, only took his head. I was afraid. I hated. Wanted to. Would you die for me? Die. But. Jew. His fear is gone. Feeling something that I had already felt before, but now it is more intense and powerful. He felt. The kiss. Rias kissed him. She laid him down on the bed and climbed onto his waist. When he felt that same fear from that nightmare he knew that Issei would lose control. So I kiss him. I stopped for a moment when I saw that he had come back to his senses. Issei. I was going to say it. He no longer cared if the man should say it first. She would tell him. But. Rias. He also spoke. From the lips of both came two words that would mark a great moment in their lives. I love you. I love you. The demon couldn't help her tears. And the dragon could not help his joy. Rias, I'll die if you leave me. I will commit suicide if I lose you. I would kill anyone who touched you. I would wipe off the map the one who hurt you. I dream of marrying you. I dream of being your wife. It hurts me that they don't accept me by your side. It hurts me when people say that I will cheat on you with someone else. Between tears and with their foreheads together. I want to be with you. I want to run away with you. And with a kiss. I love you, Rias, I love you. I love you too, more than anything in this world. And with their hands together and fingers intertwined. They confessed. They wished each other. They loved each other. In that hospital room. Issei's fears were forgotten. Rias' insecurities were forgotten. And everything that happened. I leave it to your imagination. It was already dawning. Both woke up. He held her tighter to his chest, not wanting to let go. And she snuggled up but didn't want to separate. They looked into each other's eyes, losing themselves in each other's souls. Good morning, Rias. Good morning, Ice. And just when they thought about kissing each other, they felt the danger since. The lightning bolt was heading his way. Issei acted quickly and using his body as a shield he received the lightning. Absorbing its power like a sponge. Sorry my hand slipped on its own, I hope you don't mind. She was the queen of the group. Along with the rest and Arena. In addition to Azazel, who was also a sneak in the group. They did not expect their mistress and her partner to reach that level. Both naked with a white sheet covering little skin of both. The Nekomata, thanks to her sense of smell, discovered something that puzzled her. They did it, but you and Senpai did it last night. The reactions were different in others. Asia just had teary eyes as she lost her chance to have her beloved Issei sense first time. Zenobia frowned as she saw that her plans for having children could go down the drain for not being more insistent. Arena was between blushing and jealous as she wished to be in Ria's place and also scolded herself for not falling. Kaneko clenched her fists as she wished to be in her mistress's place in that warm firm chest of her senpai and those arms that don't want to let go of her. But the one who was not only jealous but furious was the queen of the group. That's right, we're talking about Akeno. I had wanted to reach that level for a long time. I wanted to be in her place. She wished she had experienced the feeling of being one with a boy she loves. Now electric rays surrounded his body, wishing to erase that satisfied smile of his king. The boys on the other hand. Hiba smiling awkwardly covered Gasper's eyes. And Azazel smiled, knowing the problems the brown-haired boy is going to face if this situation is found out by the Gremory clan and the Mau Siskin. The couple covered their bodies only with a sheet, wishing that the earth would swallow them up for such an embarrassing moment. This couldn't get any worse. And as the wish of the three-headed titan. Hi, what's up? The Siskin along with Grafia and Ria's parents arrived to see how their son brother-in-law was doing. Although what they saw was more than they expected. Now yes, they have already bucked up. Brag, you have no idea. In Honolulu, Hawaii. The 17-year-old boy looked up at the night sky filled with beautiful stars. While he was doing that, a girl with purple hair hugged him from behind. Go back to bed, darling, I feel cold without your warmth. Sorry Miku, I was just thinking about. And the increase in power that we could feel a few moments ago. If that is true, remember that I will be by your side, I will fight by your side, and if there are no other ways out I will die by your side. No, I wouldn't want that. He turned to look her in the eyes. I don't want to lose my beloved queen. It's the same for me, I wouldn't want to lose my beloved king. And with a great love in the light of the stars. They kissed each other. But. The sound of a cell phone interrupted them. Something that the blue-haired man responded with annoyance. What happened? I felt the energy, but now I'm looking for it in the country. The others gave me their reports, but they are the same. We must keep searching. If there is any news, let me know, Rito. Dude, I think what you want to do is a terrible idea. Yes, and it is the only kind of idea that we have left apart from the other. I can't believe it. Rito, do this, Rito, do that. He cut off the call when he heard his partner complaining. What a night, don't believe it. He also complained a little. I think Rito-san needs a partner to get rid of his grumpiness. He is very frustrated, although I can't disagree with you. And speaking of frustrations, I notice you're very tense. Let's go to bed and do something about it, don't you think? Darling. Miku, I won't let you sleep tonight. She let go of him, and with her hypnotic walk, she incites the blue-haired man further to the room they shared. I'll wait for you there, my king. Shidu's veins were shining with excitement. Okay, make way for the king. That night they both enjoyed each other. The good thing was that no one was around, as loud screams of ecstasy and moans could be heard all around. Discovering something uncomfortable. Everything was silent. In a meeting room. The leaders, along with the leader of Asgard, were at a table looking at Issei, who was in front of them. Rias wanted to go to his side, but her brother didn't allow it. The rest of the entourage and Arena looked on helplessly. Well, Issei-kun, could you explain to us what that transformation of yours was? Asked the Mau. I don't know how to explain it to you. I don't know how to say it. I just know that Ghidorah is. Let's see, did you say Ghidorah? Asked the fallen leader. Yes, do you know him? The fallen one just leaned back in his seat and sighed tiredly, while the leader of heaven closed his eyes, as if remembering something he doesn't want to remember. I knew this day would come. What do you mean, Azazel? Sirzich, I think we have before us an heir, the heir of the one who was a nightmare in the last war of the factions. Are you talking about Ghidorah? Asked the brown-haired boy. The Golden Titan, many say that he was born from the stars. He was a being who cared little for life and peace. He wanted to dominate everything and everyone. He massacred many, destroyed entire cities, he had no mercy on anything. We gathered all the forces we had left to be able to defeat him, having the help of the celestial dragons and the ancient Mayu and father we were able to achieve it, although the sacrifice was very high, losing the most important ones for our factions and the celestial dragons. Those present already had an idea of what the leaders of heaven and the fallen were saying. It's a lie, why don't they tell them the truth? Everyone was bewildered when they heard an unfamiliar voice. The voice came from Issei. Wanting answers, he lifted his shirt to see that there was a visible tattoo on his stomach. Tattoo that was similar to someone. And it shone. Why don't they say who killed me? Are they afraid of looking ridiculous? Shut your mouth, Gadora. Brag, what's wrong? What do you mean? Partner, I'll tell you later, I promise. The callous decided to listen to his friend. And now tell me, Issei-kun, do you have that power under control? Well. He has it. I, along with someone, were able to put a seal on it capable of keeping Gadora at bay. It was the Redeed who spoke. And with whom did it go? Asked the leader of heaven. It was me. Everyone looked up to see the one they least expected. She was the goddess of infinity. Office. That's right, readers, she is the supreme lowly. I used a part of my power to help prevent Gadora from getting out. In a little more time he would be free. Why did you do it? Gadora's power would be very great, so much so that he would help you with what you want, asked Azazel. Gadora is not someone to trust, he does not value anything, nor does he want to live in peace. He thinks that everything must be destroyed in order to rule it. Such unmatched power with that mentality would be something I never want to see in my infinite life. The leaders did not know what to say if the goddess of infinity herself did not want that monster to come out, and apart from that she spoke of him with fear, it would be something they did not want to know. They are afraid to see or experience it firsthand. Office, tell me why my sister is involved in this. Rias Gremory asked to be the support for the seal to be effective using this. With my gem I was able to seal Gadora's soul with her seal, but for the seal to be effective a blood sacrifice had to be made. Now Rias Gremory's life is linked to that of the Sekiro. If she dies he will die, and Gadora will be free again. What? The brown-haired boy shouted, not believing that now his life and that of the girl he loves were linked. Who gave you that permission? The Mayu shouted upon learning that. I'll tell him. Rias was the one who spoke firmly to her leader. Rias, because you did it. Do you know what you got yourself into? I know, and I decided so. There was a very awkward silence between the leaders. Issei didn't know what to say. Never in his life did he expect Rias to do such a thing just for him. Leaders, I wish to speak with you if you do not mind, the goddess spoke. Okay guys, you can leave now. And at the command of the fallen leader they retreated. At the Gremory mansion. Let's say the couple was listening to a big sermon from Venelana about Hexwell acts before marriage. Now after the sermon, the chestnut went straight to the balcony of his room to look at the sky. He only had in his head what it is now to have, apart from his dragon companion, a titan, one who desires only one thing. The end of everything. Pressure? Where? Ice. He turned around upon hearing Ria's voice, who had entered. Rias, shouldn't you be sleeping? Shouldn't you be sleeping? He answered with another question as he approached. Okay, you beat me. They both remained silent and she went to his side looking at the moon. Issei couldn't hold back what he wanted to know. Rias, do you want to ask me why I did it? He just nodded his head waiting for an answer. I did it so that your fear would go away. I did it so that you would stop distrusting me. I did it because I love you and I couldn't live without being with you. But I could die. I don't want to take you with me. I told you that night, I will kill myself if I lose you, and I don't care what the council says. You are the best thing that has ever happened to me in life, and I prefer to die by your side than to live a long life without you being with me. It was simply impossible for him to believe. How to believe that the girl he loves would want to go with him to the afterlife just because she loves him. He didn't deserve to be loved. Rainer told him. His words are marked in fire and pain by that day. Redeed noticed that. Ice. What did I do to deserve your love? What did I do for you to love me this way? If I don't deserve to be loved, I'm only good for dying for someone. Rias knew that Issei's pain couldn't go away overnight. It will take time and a lot of love to heal that wound that Rainer left him, but she is not stubborn for nothing. So if you die for someone, it will be for me, because I also want to die for you. That brought the chestnut out of his thoughts. What? Wait, that's not. No, what? That a woman can't sacrifice herself for the person she loves. Is that what you want me to understand? She faced him and he walked away until he found himself in bed. You say I should be a damsel in distress while you risk your life. He couldn't continue as she pushed him onto the bed and took advantage of his confusion to climb onto his pelvis. Rias, wait please, how about we talk about it a little? He tried to calm her down, but every man knows that a woman doesn't calm down easily. I'm going to show you that I'm not a nuisance that sits around doing nothing. Let's do what we did the other night. That scared the brown-haired boy immensely. Rias, please wait, he felt his beloved's hands on his chest. My penis still hurts. Well, what do you think? I don't give a damn. The Redeed's gaze was that of a wolf with a lamb cornered. Drag, help me, I don't want to die because of snoo snoo. Sorry, buddy, but I don't get involved with a female. You don't even give me words of support. This is not my day. Do you want to know what day it is? The Titan spoke to him, leaving the brown-haired boy confused. He thought he was going to tell him something that would help him, but today is a great day to die. Don't be a moron. That night, our hero enjoyed himself like never before from our point of view. Dawn broke in the underworld and everyone went down to have breakfast, although two were missing who were not yet present. Ara, where is Rias? Asked the matriarch of the Gremory clan. They should have already come down, asked the patriarch. The rest, including the Mayu who came to eat, were wondering the same thing. Until the heiress showed up carrying an exhausted and dried up chestnut that could barely walk. The girls at the club were jealous when they saw the Redeed's radiant smile and 1,000-angel mood. Tiba helped our comrade sit down while the red-haired Mayu closed his eyes, as if it were an honor ceremony. Minute of silence to honor a fallen one. I'm not dead, clowns, the brown-haired boy shouted with annoyance. Did you do it again, daughter? Asked Venelana. What can I say, mother? We had a great time last night. Isn't that right, Ice? But if you I mean we had a good time, Venelana-sama, she smiled, enduring the pain as the Redeed grabbed her, you know what I mean. He who doesn't know, look for the duck's relative. I see that my daughter has you very controlled, Issei-kun, what a shame for GHHH. Honey, you are not one to talk, keep quiet, okay? Yes dear, ouch. The men present shuddered just thinking about it. Women are dangerous, and even more so if they are demons. After breakfast, everyone in the club with their bags ready prepared to go back to the underworld. Of course the Gremory patriarchs, along with the Mayu who brought his wife and son, saw them off. It's a shame you can't stay longer, I would have liked to chat with you, Issei-kun. Don't worry, Lord Gremory, we will try to come back another time. First of all, let me tell you that you and your parents will be welcome here whenever you want. I just ask that you take care of my daughter. The brown-haired boy looked at his beloved, both felt and intertwined their fingers more. With my life, Lord Gremory, until death. At that time Lord Gremory knew that his daughter was safe with him. Already on the train, Rias had to go to the main cars for some matters, while the others like Asia, Zenobia and Kaneko were close to him. Of course they captured his attention. Speaking of that fight against the god of deception. But they saw something that bothered them. The transvestite vampire sat on the handrail of his senpai's seat, smiling as if nothing had happened. Asper, get out of here, out, obey, water, 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 they shouted, and Kaneko threw water at him with a sprayer, and the poor thing left like a punished dog. While in the main carriage. Akeno, you wanted to talk to me? Yes, Rias, tell me, how did you do it? I did what? You know what I'm talking about, you were ahead of everyone, and the worst thing was that now you're tied to him. Didn't you think about what could happen to you if you wanted to be with Issei-kun for life? What's this about not thinking about it? I don't need to think about it because I love Ice, and I want to be with him. Akeno, why are you telling me this? It's like you expected me to leave him for someone else, right? Yes, I was hoping that you just wanted to use it to ward off other suitors who approached you, and then when you entered the university you fell in love with another boy or a professor, and you left him heartbroken and you consoled him and were happy with him. Did you really expect that from me, you who are my friend? Did you expect that from me? From me? Akeno, I know that I was spoiled before, but you know that I would never do something as low and dirty as what you expected. I would never dare to leave Issei for someone who would say nice words to me. I'm not an unfaithful boy to do that. You let yourself be influenced by those comments made by those other heiresses that you plan to be the only one for Issei. You must understand me, I am alone, and I no longer have anyone. Issei, despite the fact that I am a fallen angel, does not look at me with disgust and rejection. He does not move away from me and is always there to support me. Forgive me for being a greedy woman, but I truly wished he was only mine. He is not just yours, he belongs to all of us just like we belong to him, and if you can't accept it then it's better that you forget about him. I can't trust someone who hasn't given me his trust for a long time. The old Rias wouldn't have said that. Love changes people, either for good or for bad, and for me that changes and will be the best thing that has happened to me in life. I hope this time makes you reflect on your thoughts, she said, and then left, leaving the queen of black hair alone with her thoughts. And his regrets. While in the other cars. Hey girls, I'm thirsty, can I get up? Don't worry, Issei-san, we have the solution, Gasper. The vampire peered out from his seat curiously. Just who I wanted to see if you bring a cup of tea to Issei-san we'll let you sit down, okay? Do you swear it to me? Guaranteed, there is no trick, Gasper, Zenobia confirmed with a smile. The smiling and happy one went to the kitchen, and from there he served the tea to bring it. When he had it, he slowly reached the place where he was run, giving the chestnut the tea. Well done, Gasper, you're a good boy, Asia congratulated. It's comfortable, right? The rag nods happily at the blue-haired girl's words. How nice, enjoy your time next to Issei. The happy one enjoyed for just 5 seconds. Time's up, go away, fly, water, 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 as they chased him again and wet him with the sprayer. Dibba, who watched everything from his seat, just broke into a sweat at how ridiculous that was. I guess we shouldn't have watched Finding Dory that day. They passed through the barriers and finally returned to the human world in peace. But when they got off the train, everyone could see the heir of the Asterith family. But somewhere in Tokyo, an orange-haired boy with dark reddish clothes looked at the city that was illuminated by the lights of its buildings and streets. Until he took out his iPhone and called. Shidu, I managed to locate him, he's not far away. Okay, I met up with 2 others on the way, and Miku met up with Medaka, call the rest, and let's pay her a visit. Understood, but could you give me Basara's number? I don't have it. Tell me you have her number. I don't have it, I'll ask the others. Rito sitting on the shore, I wait. Hey Naruyuki, do you have Basara's number? No, I don't have it. Miku, do you have Basara's number? From the trash. Basara, oh forget it, Nafumi, do you have Basara's number? Shall I send it to you via WhatsApp? Yes, pass it to me. I don't have it. And why do you ask me if you passed it to me if you don't have it, Rito? Nobody has it. You say that no one has his number? I asked, not believing him. Nope. Did you ask Medaka? Yeah. You're sure? I said to Naruyuki and she was sitting next to him. I knew you were lying. You are in charge of communications and my right hand, if someone should have your number it is you. That's exactly what I'm talking about, they always leave everything to me. You're wasting valuable time, he said and then hung up. The orange-haired man when his iPhone got angry and looked at the sky, then looked in one direction when he felt how the power he detected grew bigger, as if he was angry. Knowing that someone made him angry. Rito could only say. Our time has come. Not for you, although Diodora's time has come. How can I not want you? 2 days passed. And Issei was between calm and tense. As he enjoyed the tranquility that was now there. But he also had a problem on his hands. Diodora. That day when they returned to the human world, the heir of the Asterith family revealed himself as the demon that Asia cured and was responsible for his banishment. And to top it off, he asked for her hand in marriage. At that moment, the same feeling he had when he faced Loki in his lesser Titan form. It is thanks to Rias that it has not gotten out of control. But there is also another problem. Issei has nightmares every night. Every nightmare is one where the girls abandon him, others where they humiliate him in the worst way. But the worst were where he watched helplessly as the girls he loved slept with others in an orgy and said obscenities and made fun of the brown-haired boy. All. Even Rias. There are so many nightmares that cause terror. And now that he is sleeping. He was chained and hanging by his wrists. I was crying. He was hurt and bleeding. But before him were the girls he loves. They were all moaning like hitches in heat as they were in an orgy with handsome boys. Harder Kaido-kun, you've got it big. Break me, tear me apart with your Kemer-Koda-san. I'm your bore, Taichi-senpai. Diodora-sama, use this pure at your pleasure, buck me a lot. That's what they were saying while he was being tortured by a man who had his face covered by a black mask. He was an executioner. He whipped him on the back with a whip. But the worst of all. He was watching as the girl who opened her heart to him enjoyed being penetrated by a handsome boy who held her legs and showed her his face full of sick pleasure. Kazuto, get me pregnant, put it in me all the way, yes, you have it bigger than Issei. He was crying. I wanted to die. I wanted to kill those guys. I wanted to destroy everything. What are you waiting for? Do it, get revenge on them, destroy everything, it's inevitable. It was Gadora's voice urging him to do so. Partner, wake up. It was Drag who was trying to bring his partner back to reality. He was afraid that those nightmares would break his mind. But. Enough, stop it, Gadora. Someone appeared and made the executioner disappear and then looked into the eyes of the brown-haired man. Ice, look at me, don't look at that, look at me, this isn't real, it's never going to happen, I'll never leave you. It was Rias who was trying to get her beloved to come back to his senses and not see that horrible scene. Ice, I love you, and I will never leave you. I am yours and only yours, follow my voice, listen to my heart, listen to me, come back to me. And thanks to your pleas. Rias. Rias. He was coming back. Here I am, Ice, here I am here, and I will always be because I love you, Ice. And thanks to her the place changed. Now they were in front of Gadora's cage, who was looking angrily at the Redeed who had the brown-haired boy and Drag in her arms. He covered them with his wings and looked threateningly at the Titan. It's so much fun to see how I show him what will be real, very soon it will be what it should be. The Redeed glared at the Titan and leaving Issei in the care of Drag, she opened her wings to fly and be on par with Gadora. Does this amuse you? How long do you plan to continue with this? Why don't you just leave him alone? He is my heir, and his duty is to destroy the plague that is you the supernaturals and humans. That's not up to you to decide. I don't need to do much to make my ambition come true. All evil must be eradicated. But don't worry, if you cooperate with me you could be his queen. I already have what I wanted the most, and I'm not going to let you take it away from me. Neither you nor anyone else will be able to take it away from me. You won't be able to protect him forever. I'm not the bad guy here, I'm just showing him the reality that I know he'll have. And don't deny it to me, since from that day on the train you stopped trusting them. Someday that nightmare will become reality, and you won't be able to avoid it. Even if it's just me, he will never give in to you. And if that day comes, I will make sure to kill you and then die by his side. Are you willing to kill him and die with him to prevent my prediction from coming true? How far are you willing to go to protect this plague-filled world? Not for them, for him. And out of frustration the Titan roared, hitting the cage while she looked seriously ready to do anything for her beloved. It dawned. And Issei woke up. Instinctively he brought one of his hands to his eyes and could feel that they were wet. I had cried almost all night. But he looked to his left and saw that next to him was his beloved Reed. She also woke up. Ice. Are you okay? I can't lie to you, you saw for yourself what goes on in my head. Ice, I never. I know. But it hurts me and I feel that what she says is true. I love them, but I don't know if I can trust them. Under the gaze. And it was no wonder. Since they returned, Rias had to change many things. What do you mean we can't sleep with Issei-sen anymore? It was the claim of Asia, who along with the others were sitting on a sofa in front of them, was Rias, who maintained her seriousness before them. Rias and Ravel, who have joined the club, plus the Valkyrie, who is now Rias' new tower, is a teacher at the academy, and Ravel, who by orders of the Phoenix clan enrolled as a new first-grade student, were away from that matter. But they looked at everything. As you heard, from now on no one but me will sleep with Ice until further notice. But why does he do this? We have the right to sleep with him. I need to start doing things for our children. I'm her childhood friend, I have more rights than you, Rias. But you mustn't keep Senpai all to herself. It was the complaints of Zenobia, Arena and Kaneko who stood up for such a decision. Sit down, she ordered in a low voice. We don't have to listen to this, said the blue-haired girl, annoyed with her mistress. I said sit down now, she ordered again, but now more serious than usual. They reluctantly obeyed. Listen, girls. I'm not doing this because I want to monopolize Ice. This is all for a reason that involves his well-being, both physically, mentally and morally. I'm going to tell you here and now why you won't be sleeping with him until further notice. It's not necessary, Rias. The point is that all of us here without exception have done things wrong. We take into account our feelings, that we forget the most important thing, we forget how Issei-kun feels about it. The Kendo spoke from another part of the room. And the others were able to understand that in reality all their actions have been wrong. Issei was a more complicated boy than he thought. Well then, I'm going to clear this up, and I don't care if you see me as the bad guy here, but this is what needs to be done. They all paid attention. From now on, not only will you not sleep with Ice, but you will not fight over him or make advances towards him. Remember that he does not trust you. If you want to be with him, you must earn that right. If in that time I do not see anything from him, then forget about him, since I will not admit girls who are only by his side for personal interest. I will only admit the best of you. She got up and walked straight to the elevator, but not before. Remember that if you truly love him, then you will fight for that right. I tell you this not only as a friend but as a king, and it's time for you to move your stupid insubordinate asses. And with that she left, leaving the others very thoughtful, since they really, and without lying, have done things the wrong way. That day, Rias put things in order and took his role as leader more seriously. If he wanted to protect his group and his loved one, he had to be stronger and firmer in what he decides. She looked at him. She saw him trying to get up as she placed herself on his pelvis. What are you doing? What do I do? You had a nightmare and I want to make you forget about it. But No buts, I'm going to erase that nightmare from your head, and you know what I have to do. It's not the nightmare that affects me, what I really fear is that. Shhhhhh. She put a finger on his lips to silence him. Every time we do this, we not only strengthen the seal, but our souls become more united. Very soon we will reach the point where we will be feeling what the other feels. Rainer is not here, he touches her heart, just you and me. They both had kissed. Not only did they love each other. They wanted each other. They were needed. They longed for each other. Issei stopped for a moment. Rias, don't leave me. Never in my life. They kissed again. Both exploring each other's bodies with their hands not only increased the desire. If not, they united their souls more. That Sunday, they both didn't get out of bed. Until nightfall the couple slept spoon to spoon. With hands together and fingers intertwined. She still felt her lover's tremor inside. And I didn't want it to come out. But that intertwined hand, she touched her belly. smiling with joy and happiness. If it's a boy, Soma. If it's a girl, mine. I stopped thinking when I heard that voice in my head and turned around to see that it was my brown-haired boy smiling. Perhaps. Yes, now I can know what you think and feel what you feel, and you know what? That. Thank you for existing in my life. She smiled and couldn't help but shed tears at those words. So she kissed him and they stayed like that for a few seconds. Until she felt her lover's chemor become active again inside her. Ice, you're insatiable. Your inside feels good, it's impossible to contain myself. That shows you can't live without me. It's just that I love you more than you love me. That is not possible. Of course it is possible, just think about it. If you loved me more than I love you, we would die in this bed from not eating or sleeping and just being so united, he said, making him crazy. That would be the most beautiful way for me to die by your side. Being loyal until death. My princess, my beloved. My dragon, my titan. Then both kissing they did it again. Until dawn. Another day. Another moment at the club. The classes were good. But what caught everyone's attention and Tupi was that Issei smiled and hummed a song or two. Several recognized what it was. Iodo is humming the Fire Force opening. First time I see him without thinking of obscene things. But why is he so happy? These were the questions they asked. The recess is coming. Hey Issei, how about we go see the girls from the Kendo club? Yes, we go. It was his perverted friends who invited him. I'm sorry guys, but I think I'm going to pass. It not only left both of them silent but the entire classroom. Who are you and what did you do with our friend? Hey, calm down old man. I just said I don't want to do it, I have to spend my time on someone important to me. That surprised the others even more, but it didn't take long for the rest to start murmuring. He's probably lying. It must have been exorcised. Surely he decided to come out of the closet. Those murmurs brought a drop to the back of his neck. What's more important than spying on the Kendo club's locker room? Well, I know that if I do it I'll sleep in the bathtub. At the classroom door was Rias, who was smiling calmly with a terrifying aura around her. Something that Issei understood perfectly. Rias, calm down, I wasn't going to do it, I swear. He raised his hands. She just grabbed him by the collar of his shirt and dragged him out. Edo. Yes. Can I help you? She asked, those in the classroom still having her terrifying aura. Everyone was silent out of fear. The Kendo walked straight to see her cute cowhide, but he watched as his king dragged the one he was looking for down the hall with other students watching everything. Of course, Ghidorah's heir asked for help with his eyes, but those present and especially the barons, feeling that aura, only with a sheet of paper written in a black marker, wrote a great. And so it continued until she took him to the roof, and with magic she not only sealed the door, but a barrier was raised on the roof so they would not be disturbed by anyone. You laugh at me? He couldn't finish speaking when he felt her kiss him, and not only that. I felt that with every second she increased her breathing. And to add, she abruptly took off his shirt and his red t-shirt, and then with her hands she passed over his entire work chest. She thanks Tannen for the training he gave her. This continued for a few seconds until he managed to stop her. You have a laugh. It's not that I don't like it, but I would like to know. I don't know, but I don't like you thinking about other women when you should only call me. I don't like other women seeing you when you're only for me. Are you jealous? If a boy flirts with me, what do you do? She couldn't continue as he pushed her to the door and kissed her wildly with tongue and all. One of his arms went around her waist. One of his hands touched her breasts and his right leg rubbed against her intimate part, making her go crazy with pleasure. Moaning, still kissing her beloved. When their lips parted, a bridge of saliva. Both had their eyes clouded with desire and lust from wanting to unite their bodies and souls. Anyone who even tries anything with you, I will kill him. Now do you understand how I feel? You will soon become popular in the underworld. Many heiresses will seek to be with you. I know your dream is to be the harem king, but my dream means nothing. If you asked me to leave it, I would do it without hesitation. But as long as you are by my side, that's all that matters to me. Although I love you all, you are the only one I trust and want to have by my side. Just ask me, and I will gladly be only for you and nothing else. Rias couldn't believe it. He was willing to give up his dream just for her. And he did not deny it. I wanted to tell him, give up your dream so I could be happy with him without anyone intervening. I wanted to do it. I wanted to tell you. But he didn't do it. Because if she did, it would be unfair to the others who have to fight to be by their loved one's side. But I couldn't just sit back and watch that nightmare become a reality. So I make a decision. 6 months, no 4, give me 4 months, and if they no longer want to or do that, I will kill them myself. That surprised the chestnut greatly. You're laughing. Just as you are willing to change and leave your dream for me and even kill anyone who tries to do anything to me, I am also willing just to protect you. But If they decide not to continue, they can leave and finish, but if they decide to betray you and hurt you, I will kill them without mercy. They are my friends, but that will not stop me from making them pay if they do it, is what she said, and then kissed him. Issei couldn't believe it. In fact, he never imagined that his beloved Redeed was capable of going to such extremes just to protect him. But he waited for something to happen. The she-devil's hair changed from crimson to gold. And his eyes, once blue as the ocean, were now red as blood. His body began to exude golden electrical discharges. And it wasn't just her that was going through this. Issei also suffered changes. Her previously brown hair changed to golden blonde. And her eyes, once honey-colored, became like the color of blood. Both of them were giving off golden discharges that, as strange as it was, electrical objects began to fail on the spot. When they stopped, they looked at each other, and she locked her legs around her lover's waist while her arms surrounded his neck. Lemon skipped. She demanded, not caring if she got pregnant. After all, the clan wanted her to give them an heir in the past by forcing her to marry a big idiot like Razor. Just imagining what he would have done to her only made her grip on her lover stronger, and she never wanted to let go. Issei was her beloved, her soulmate. He had what she most desired and dreamed of since the demonic society saw her as a surrogate womb. He loved her for who she was and accepted her with all her flaws. Only someone who truly loved her could tolerate his great defect of jealousy and his possessiveness in her. How can you not love him, desire him, and think of betraying him if he has become almost your whole life? He has everything for her, how could she not want it? They both separated their lips and a bridge of saliva joined both tongues. His eyes and hair returned to their normal colors, making the rays disappear. Issei, still holding her hip, slowly got on his knees, and Rias, still not wanting him to leave her, did not let go and leaned her back against the door. That was very intense, too much. I know, she was calming her breathing, and then she saw his intimacy. You came a lot, I could get pregnant, she said, smiling as she knows how to do, having a sparkle of longing in her eyes for her words to come true. That was something that Issei had not taken into account, but that motivated him to do what he had planned to do. Rias. Tell me, Ice. Both lost in each other's eyes, they kissed once more, but now it was one not with lust but with love. And just as he stopped. Marry me. They fell silent. Yes, I will marry you. And kissing each other, they sealed that pact, a pact that in the future will be significant for both of them. And without caring that the break is over. They returned to their act of love because, as incredible as it may seem, both were still not satisfied. Not knowing that absolutely all of them had heard everything from the other side of the door. From threat to marriage declaration and proposal. They cried not only because of what they heard, but because they know what they must do if they want to be with the only one they love. Bekeno's heart ached instead. Hearing those moans awakened in her the envy and jealousy that she had previously kept hidden within her. Issei-kun, he can't leave me, he can't get away from me, he's mine, mine, mine. And with tears in her eyes she walked away, leaving the others confused. But Asia didn't pay attention. He just had a look on him that he normally never has as he rested his hands and forehead on the door. A determined look. Issei-san, I don't care if I'm second or third, I want to be with you. And if that means I have to fight for you, I'll do it. Rias, but you is right, it's time for me to stop being a burden and be the one to fight by her side, and I know where to start. She left there walking. But now she is determined to do what she wants. And for that. It's time to train. From a far distance on the roof of a tall building. Rito looked seriously in one direction. It took longer than I expected. Don't tell me they stopped because Miku went shopping. You could say yes. It was Shido who arrived and looked in the same direction as the orange-haired man. And how is our friend? His power has been under control, which is strange since, according to what our predecessors told us, Gadora would break the mind of his heir in order to control him and be free, but I have two theories. Tell me. Either our friend is very mentally strong, which I doubt. Or someone is keeping him from breaking by holding him steady. I'm leaning towards the latter, since that someone is also gaining power from the heir. Do you think that someone is taking advantage of our friend to steal his power? It's just a hypothesis, I can't be sure until I see it. Well, that's what we're going to find out. Tell the others and tell them that we'll all go tomorrow to meet him. Whatever you want. The orange-haired boy walked away to leave. And Rito. That. Miku, I'm registering you on whydon'tyoudate.me.com so you'll stop being a grump, he said with a chibi face. He exclaimed, not expecting that. I told him not to do it, but he didn't listen to me. Fucking mother, he cursed. Miku, how many times have I told you not to find me a partner? Be happy, it's not that bad. You don't want others to tell you Hage. Fuck you is what he said, kicking the door and then leaving. Slamming the door. Perito. I'm going to feel sorry for the girl who wants to marry you. That's what he said before finally looking in that direction and sighing. His hair and unbuttoned shirt danced in the warm summer wind. I hope I don't have to do it. They are here to take up their own business. It dawned in Kao with a heavy rain. And everyone was preparing for their daily lives despite the rain. And at the Hyodo residence everyone was having breakfast. But the most notable thing that filled the parents of a certain chestnut tree with joy was that both Issei and Rias. They enjoyed their breakfast very happily. "This omelette is good, honey. I didn't make much love. But I'm glad you like it." They both already looked like a married couple. Issei's parents were already hoping for a wedding and cute grandchildren. The other girls were very jealous and wanted to break that atmosphere. But they couldn't because they hadn't earned that right. Akeno tried to concentrate only on her breakfast, but she couldn't ignore what her heart felt when she saw that scene. How I wanted to be in the Retide's place. Asia, on the other hand, just watched and was jealous, but she put them aside to look at a book. It was one of the offensive and defensive spells I wanted to learn. Apart from that, all night I tried to find something that would help him. She knows that she is not strong in brute force, and she is not good at fighting either. So he decided to be a long-distance person. He was interested in firearms, especially the most popular ones. But the one that caught his attention was one that he already had in mind, and asked the governor of the Fallen if he could get it. But before I must become stronger and stronger. He looked at the brown-haired boy who could now see that he was happy. It was no longer that fake smile that he used to have when he hid his fear and pain. Now he was happy being with Rias. Being motivated to also be the one who makes that smile appear. Determined and motivated, she closed her book and stood up. "Issei-san, but you-san. We must go." They looked at Asia. Issei noticed that she was happy. But Rias is nothing more than that. "Issei, go ahead with Asia-chan. I have to talk about something with the others." "Understood. Let's go, Asia," he said, taking his backpack and offered his arm. She happily took that arm and both of them left, causing jealousy in Kaneko, Zenobia, Irina and Akeno. Rias, seeing that they had already left, just looked seriously at the others. "I see that only one of you understood what I said that day, but I hope you understand it too. You are very hypocritical, Rias." "Asia hasn't done much," Akeno complained. "She is beginning to understand, and I have seen in her eyes that she no longer wants to be protected, but also to protect what she loves most." "What do you mean?" Zenobia asked, not understanding. "If you don't understand it the first time, I don't see the point in explaining it to you twice," is what the Retide said after gathering the dirty dishes and putting them in the sink, then taking her backpack and leaving, but not before. "Time is passing and I don't see anything of you at the rate you're going. I think only she will be by Ice's side." And with that he left. Leaving the other people present thoughtful. Rias managed to catch up with Issei and Asia, and the three of them were smiling and laughing at random things and memes despite the rain. But from the roof of a building. "So it's him, huh? Well, he doesn't seem like a bad guy, but I can see that he was hurt a lot. It was Rito who managed to find him, and now he watches him. Shit reminds me of myself a year ago," said the orange-haired man, remembering his old life in his hometown. "Hey Rito, Nafumi here. How are you doing with what I asked you for?" Someone was speaking to him from a communicator in his ear. "I'm following him. He's going to school with two girls. I think it's better that we get him away from them before one of them hurts him. You understand me after what happened to you with that hitch multi? That will only be decided by Shido. For now, keep us posted and don't forget to get us the Boku no Hero manga." "Boku no Hero? I thought you said Black Clover." "What? No, Carrot Head, what the buck are you smoking in that pipe?" "Hey, who the buck did you call Carrot Head, Captain Shield?" "It's time for a break." But no one went out because of the storm that didn't stop. Issei went out to go see Rias and found her staring at her classroom window. She smiled at him and they both kissed in front of everyone. But from outside the academy. In front of the steel doors. It was Shido who, despite the rain, remained serious. I put a finger to his ear. "Okay guys, let's do this. Miku ready to shine. In darling position. Madaka. In position. Naruyuki. In position. Nafumi. I'm already in position. Basara. In position, and I hope we don't have to do that." "I hope so too. Rito, light up your crack pipe." In position and stops rubbing with that. I remember when I uploaded his photo with that penis-shaped pipe to face here, having a great time. "Stop messing around, Basara." He's angry again. "Relax, I'm just kidding." "I'm not angry, Nafumi. It's only when you say I'm angry that you really make me angry. You're like mosquitoes at night. You never stop mopping." "What did I tell you about your anger?" "Repeat after me, I'm angry, it doesn't affect me, I love myself, Yuza. "I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Madaka." "Of course you know what the hell I'm talking about. Hey Rito, I think you should fix your anger issues, you know. A girl for. You should fix your anger issues and not give Miku a hard time 3 times a day. Today we skipped our section because of this. I hope and you reward me by doing it double tonight, darling." Hey, did you forget that we have a mission? Sorry Naruyuki. Okay guys, let's make some noise now. Nice, what do you think of Asia? Well, I've noticed that she's starting to change. I'm glad you noticed, but what I want to know is, if she proves to love you as I do, would you accept her? I don't know, I want to protect her, but… Calm down. I know that you have a hard time trusting, but I know for sure that she and the others will enter your being. You have already shown them that you love them with your actions, now it is they who must show you how much they love you with theirs. He couldn't help but feel happy about those words. They both kissed, making the boys very envious, and the girls astonished when they saw their one Isama being kissed by the perverted beast. They were going to continue. But they stopped. They were listening to something. And it wasn't just them. All those present, both students and teachers, were listening to something. But the demons were on alert as this was not normal. A pale yellowish light emerged between the storm clouds. Everyone looked out of the windows. The light began to grow stronger. They were screams that could be heard throughout the school and throughout the city. They didn't know what was happening. Until out of nowhere, the sky opened. Beautiful screams were heard and a being surrounded by divine light appeared, leaving many in awe. Asia, Zenobia and Irina felt like they were standing in front of someone who is above all the heavens. Sona feared that something bad would happen, so she called on the alliance leaders to get their support. The rest, out of inertia, took out their weapons and looked for their companions to regroup. Issei and Rias went up to the roof to admire that beautiful spectacle that in their eyes was something never seen before. All the students went outside to see that. But they didn't wait. A few seconds later everyone fell to the ground, fainted by the song of that being. Something that Issei and Rias noticed. What the hell? So you are the heir of Gadora, right? They turned to see who spoke to them. Who are you? My name is Itsuka Shido. I came here with my team so you could come with us. They both did not understand. But let's not go into details for now. I want to see how much you can control Gadora. What are you talking about? You can't ask me something like that. The blue-haired boy shook his head. I knew you would refuse, but I was expecting something better. Well, if not, I think we're going to have to destroy this place until there's nothing left. That alerted both of them, and without warning all the Grimory nobility along with the Citri and Ravel nobility arrived at the roof. The knights drew their swords ready to fight. Look, buddy, I don't want any problems, so please leave us alone. You are just an heir and you don't know what the world of heirs is like. You don't know how things work between us. The light dimmed and the being looked straight at them, then shrank to a human size and then gracefully fell next to Shido. She was a girl. When an heir awakens his power, that's when we must step in and take charge. You are the heir of the one who caused an imbalance in the last war of the factions and also the only one who wanted to give order to this world through a tyranny. I don't know what you mean, but I'm not Gadora, I'm Hyodo Issei and I'm not going with you. Then a ball of fire and ashes headed towards them and that ball landed next to Shido, revealing a teenage boy with orange hair. You can't escape what you are. Maybe you're fooling yourself and maybe you think you'll have your friends supporting you after this. But tell me, are you sure you can trust them? An heir can only trust another heir. Just look at them. The brown-haired boy obeyed and looked at the faces of his friends who were afraid of dying, afraid of him. In the end, they will hate you and move away from you. And even more so she who loves you. I will save you the trouble of suffering that and better accept who you really are and come with us. The heirs are doomed to be just us. We are a team and friends, but we are only ourselves. What do you know about me? You don't know anything. Just like you are with your girl, he said, pointing at the reed. That's how I was, but my power woke up and my whole life as I knew it ended. But they came and saved me from dying. He pointed to his companions. And what makes you think that I will do something similar? It was Rias who responded angrily. She doesn't like how they took for granted things that she wouldn't do and doesn't want to do. You're a demon. It is more than enough to know that we cannot trust those of your race, said Rito, looking at the reed in a bad way. Just like the fallen and the angels are not saved. If it does not come or is not from God, it is heresy and you are linked to them, Miku said, surprising everyone by being discovered. Let's do this the easy way and without any fights. Come with us now. No. I'm not asking you, I'm ordering you. And this is my answer. No. There was a brief silence between them. Well, it will be the hard way then. Naruyuki, you already know what to do. After those words a great barrier rose, but it did not cover the entire school, but the entire city. It was a space barrier that does not affect humans. And without being able to do anything, Issei ended up on a wall, held by the neck by Shido, who only looked at him seriously and coldly. Don't make this any harder. Come with us now. What he didn't expect was that Issei's hair changed to blonde and his eyes turned red, and then electric shocks came out of his body. You? Don't. Order me. And with brute force he pushed Shido to the ground, breaking him, and just when he was going to hit him, his fist was stopped by a hand. It was Shido who now had a completely black hair and his eyes were now blue plus blue flames manifested in his body affecting the other demons and angels. You'll have to do better than that. But the kick he took him off the roof, sending him to the ground, causing a huge tremor. The others were going to attack Shido but were held down by a sticky substance like caterpillar silk. It was Miku who was wiping her mouth a little. They should not intervene in this. Rias was distressed and even more so when she saw how the now raven-haired boy smiled arrogantly at her and then went straight for Issei. She desperately tried to free herself. The others were the same, but without knowing it, several boys arrived. Miku, don't tell me that. Yes, Basara. For now we must prevent these demons from interrupting. Listen, it's not that I'm questioning, but I don't think we should force him to come. It's for your own good, Medaka. Believe me, she'll thank us sooner or later. I think you're taking this too personally, Rito. Just because your old friends hurt you doesn't mean that. You're not the one to say that. Now if you may remember what that hitch multi did to you, and look at her, he said, pointing at the Redeed. All demons are the same. Rito, calm down. I think that. Don't you dare say what isn't true, Rias shouted before Naruyuki could speak. Thing that Rito looked at. What's not what? You won't leave him. Come on, stop that hurt girl act and admit it. You only see him as your servant. Shut up, you know nothing, she shouted. Of course I know. The heiress of the Gremory family. A spoiled girl who thinks she can have everything she wants. And now that she's going to lose a valuable piece, she'll fight for it. He's not just my pawn. He's the man I love and I'm not going to allow you to talk about me like that, Issei. Well, your actions in the past don't prove it. Tell me one thing, if he didn't have that sacred, I don't know if you would have reincarnated him. Ask Miku if he wasn't the bearer of drag, would you have reincarnated him? She wasn't going to speak, but she didn't say anything. Exactly, you wanted out of your arranged engagement back then. You didn't care about him at all. In fact, I think you probably let him die that day when that fallen angel killed him and that's it, you show up and you're the heroine and now you love him and want to protect him. Tell me one thing, how can you be okay knowing that you took away his humanity? How can you be okay believing that you can be happy knowing that you're the one responsible for him having nightmares about you bucking someone else? She couldn't speak, in fact she cried with rage when she heard all those words. He didn't defend himself because it was all true. It was for that reason that he often felt that he did not deserve the love of his beloved dragon. Because it was because of his greed and his demonic nature that he suffered in such a way. The silence says it all. I think there is nothing more to say here. Take care of the rest and I will go see how Darling subdues our new companion. Very soon we will take back this world that belongs to us, and you, I point to the demons and angel, very soon you will return to your underworld, since here in our territory you will not be welcome. From her back she made enormous blue-green wings emerge that changed color to red. And just as he was about to fly he stopped when he felt a power growing. She turned around and saw that the Redeed had now turned blonde and her eyes had turned blood red. But the worst thing was that golden discharges destroyed the sticky silk that held her captive. Rias stood up seriously and looked at Miku furiously. You won't take him away from me, you won't take him away from me, not you or anyone else, no one will take my ice away from me, no one. And at an incredible speed he launched himself at Miku and took her crashing into the gym. What had just happened left everyone in shock. Hey Rito, are you sure she's not the one who has Gadora? I'm sure, Nafumi. I don't know what's going on or how she can have the same poser as the original heir. Rito didn't know what to say. Balsona knew what was happening. The seal allows them to share power between them. Issei got up with some pain and watched as Shido approached. Don't make me hurt you. Come with us now, he said seriously. But. Really? Why is it that I don't believe you? He said, wiping away a little blood from the corner of his lips. I don't want to hurt a possible ally for what is to come. Understand, this world was never theirs, it is ours, and sooner or later we will take it back, but we must eliminate all threats that affect it, and the stupid war between them and the brigade will affect it. I'm on the side of the alliance, they want peace. And their problems affect the world, and I'm doing you a favor. That girl you love is going to. I'm not going to let you talk about my wife like that, did you hear? The black man only sighed in frustration. You're very stubborn. I'm going to have to beat some sense into you. He walked towards Issei. The only thing you'll get is a beating from me. Issei walked towards Shido. They both accelerated until they were running, and then when they both collided, a shock wave broke the glass of cars and windows of buildings. Blow after blow. Issei surrounded by golden lightning. And Shido surrounded by blue fire. For both of them, losing was not an option. We see Rias. Which was crashed into a building and buried in the wall. While in front of her was Miku, who with her wings floated in the air with her arms crossed. Looking at her seriously. The blonde came out of the wall and re-entered surrounded by golden rays. Something Miku could see clearly. Where did you get that power? That energy signature is from Gadora. I don't know, and even if I knew I won't tell you since you declared that you and your companions want to take the person I love and I won't allow that. It is for his own good that we must do it, he should be with his family living peacefully. I'm trying hard to make him happy, I'm capable of killing anyone who hurts him, and now you're someone I have to kill to protect him. You're stubborn, foolish and headstrong, you have no future with an heir, understand this. You're the one who doesn't understand. She raised her power, causing lightning to destroy walls and cars. Well, I guess you've left me no other choice. You want a bloodbath? That's what I'll give you. You have nothing to do. His wings shone, and his arms were surrounded by a blue aura that many had seen was powerful. Well, I don't think the same. She launched herself at an impressive speed, and Miku was almost injured as she managed to dodge an electric claw that left damage to a solid concrete wall. Something that left the purple film in shock, and more so because of the good control it has. He took flight and watched her, knowing that she won't give up easily. I hope I don't get serious with you. She couldn't say more as Rias appeared in her sight and took advantage to give her a blow charged with golden energy, and then she sent her crashing into a street, destroying several cars. Rias was breathing heavily, her anger and rage were consuming her. I'll kill you, I don't plan on losing eyes for anything in the world, nothing. Issei was thrown until he crashed into the wall of an apartment complex. He tried to stand up, but when he was standing he was pushed through the wall and about 7 more walls. He was now in so much pain that he could barely stand. The jet approached. Will you give up? He hoped she already did. But he just spat blood on her shoes and stood up, barely staggering. Unfortunately for you, I don't have all day. Shido raised his fist covered in blue fire to knock him out and take him away. But. Well, me neither. With his hands he threw golden lightning bolts at the chest of the black-haired boy and threw him into a row of cars, destroying them. Then Shido got up in pain and saw how Issei removed a metal cover on the floor, and from there he took out some high-voltage cables and bit them so that he began to shine in gold. He recovered by absorbing energy. But that wasn't the worst. Anger was driving him wild. When he had absorbed enough energy, he released the cable and launched himself at the raven-haired boy, who also launched himself at the red-eyed blonde. Both surrounded by blue fire and golden rays, they hid and kicked each other at incredible speed. And something else. Shido was being outclassed. Is increasing its power more. Then he received a blow that sent him crashing into a wall, but Issei himself also sank him further by hitting him. Until I stop. Are you going to apologize, my wife? Or I'll have to force you. The black-haired boy just let out a small laugh. There is no doubt that you have the potential to be a powerful titan, but you need more than that to force me to apologize to your wife. Well, I'm going to have to try harder. He was going to strike, but Shido hooked him in the stomach, drawing saliva from him, and with his other hand, he sank his head into the ground and then put him against the wall to destroy it by passing his face into it. But Issei managed to break free from his grip, and with a lasso he sent him to the ground with tremendous force, and then a sinkhole was created in the concrete. Issei walked away breathing heavily. But something was wrong with him. The more he fought and hit. But I enjoyed it more. Which confused him a lot. You feel it, right? He came out of his thoughts when he heard Shido's voice as he stood up with some difficulty. That feeling of wanting more. That desire to prove your supremacy. That ambition to want what your heart most yearns for. Shido wiped the blood off his cheek and walked closer. That's the feeling that a Titan candidate for Alpha has. You and I are the same. We want to be at the top of everything and everyone. You're wrong. I don't want to be on top. I don't want to be above everyone. What I want is to protect those I love the most. I know my words may be pure sentimentality, but that's what I feel. Shido just looked at him. I just want to be happy with the girls I love and for them to be happy with me. Are you willing to give your life and time so that they can be happy even if it's not with you? I am. He remained silent. Neither of them said anything. Until Shido put a finger in his ear and spoke. Asar, our new partner, passed the test. I'm glad to know that his companions here are crazy, trying to kill us and escape to help him. Anything else I should know? Miku is doing the same thing to that Redeed girl. I don't think it will last long. Okay. A short communication, and with a quick movement without Issei noticing, gave him a blow to the back of the neck, leaving him unconscious. Causing Issei to lose his transformation and return to normal. And Shido also returned to normal and then grabbed a brown-haired boy by the collar of his shirt and took him away. As Rias punched and punched with tremendous fury at her, Miku tried to defend herself from each blow. The purple film did not deny it. The demoness was strong. But while she was thinking, she was hit on the cheek and then crashed into an office tower where she destroyed many desks. As soon as Miku got up. And entering was Rias, who could barely breathe normally due to overexertion. It was running out. Wow, you're almost exhausted and you still don't want to give up. Do you love Ghidorah's heir too much? Or just? Issei. Miku blinked. Sorry. His name is Issei Lost, the man I love, and the one who will be someone important in the lives of many. I know I have made many mistakes, and now I will never be able to erase it. Almost every day I wish I had arrived in time on that day of his death, or at least realize that hitch is still hurting him, but I swore to myself that I will protect him as he protects me. My life is linked to him, and although many see him as a curse, he is for me the most precious thing I have, and for that reason. From his right hand, electrical energy was gathered, giving shape to an object. A jousting lance. It doesn't matter if I have to kill you, I will fight to the end for Issei. And with that cry she launched herself straight to pierce the heiress in the chest with her spear. I was only a few meters away from hitting him. But just when he was going to give her the final attack. Bam. He fainted. Due to the effort he made apart from his appearance returning to the same. Miku instead. He smiled. Then take the deed and return to the place where they were. But she kept smiling. An hour passed, and although everyone tried to break the barrier they couldn't. What frustrated the girls the most, those who loved their brown hair. Ravel was also worried about wanting to break through the barrier. Rias was also using his magic to be able to go out and help the brown-haired boy who earned his respect and more. All this was the work of Nafumi, who was the creator of that barrier. All the others watched. Until Shido arrived dragging the brown-haired boy and left him on the ground. Well, will you come with us? Asked Rito, receiving an elbow from Medaka in the ribs. Tell me you didn't go too far. Basara asked. A little. Where is Miku? Dear darling. The blue-haired boy turned to see his beloved who had the redeed in her arms. How did it go, love? Something difficult, just fighting in my 15%. I must say she earned my respect. At least this is over. You're wrong, Medaka, this isn't over yet. Shido looked at the sky, and the rest of the heirs did too, to see 3 subjects in the air with different types of wings. And not only that, there was more hundreds of men and women with different types of wings and clothing surrounding the heirs in the air. The alliance of the 3 factions had arrived. Good afternoon, leaders, I was hoping you would show up. Who are you? And what did you do to my sister and Issei-kun? Sergeant spoke, controlling his anger and not attacking when he saw his sister in that state, along with Issei. We just did a test to measure their worth, and here from the smile of my queen I deduce that she passed as well as the heir of Gadora. Look, I'm not playing games, or are you talking now, kid? Or what? You have no power here in my demon territory, and if I want I can make you leave here and return to the underworld and to heaven. That angered the leaders. They came to help Issei, and now they find that boy. Just when the red-haired Mao was going to attack, someone appeared in front of them, and that someone raised his hand to stop them. Don't move. It was Office. Office, why are you? The Archangel could not speak because he, like the leaders, could see something that was not possible. They could see that his hand. I was shaking. It wasn't just his hand. His whole body was shaking. The leaders, the soldiers. Even the Gremory and Citri clans were wondering. What caused Office fear? Whatever happens, don't provoke them, don't do anything stupid. His voice trembled. What the hell was going on? Miku just dragged both lovers to the barrier and recharged them together, putting Rias on top of Issei. Smiling with happiness at seeing that when they felt each other's warmth, they unconsciously moved to hug each other more. She kissed his neck and put her hands on the boy's chest. He touched her waist and brought her closer to his side. All in full view of both clans, and especially the girls who were dying of jealousy and envy. It seems that they love each other very much. There is nothing more beautiful than love. You should learn from them, Rito. Will you shut your mouth? Love is a waste of time for me. The orange-haired man spoke to him, looking disgusted at both demons together. It made him want to vomit. But deep down it hurt him, and he envied them both. Only his companions know why. As for Shido, he still looked at the leaders and the dragon goddess of infinity. Apparently she is very smart and knows the position they are in, but well, I think my colleagues will introduce themselves. I am Yuga Narayuki, heir of Behetmont. I am Iwatani Nafumi, heir of Methuselah. I am Kurakami Medaka, heir to Scylla. I am Tajo Basara, heir of Kong. I am Yuki Arito, heir of Rodan. I am Izeo Miku, heir to Queen Mothra. Everyone was unaware of who they were and why they had those names. Serzinch did not understand, but his allies, as Azal and Michael, began to remember something when they heard it. Something they should never forget. But Office was terrified with each name, and even more so when she heard Mothra's name. But when he looked at the blue-haired boy, he could see deeper into his soul. Something I feared and wished I would never see again since the end of the war. And now in front of her. There was his heir, the only one. Leave me, and I introduced myself. A powerful blue aura emerged from his body and made everyone shudder with almost instinctive fear. I am Itsuka Shido, heir to the king and protector of this world. Godzilla. Pain is also part of life. In the capital of the underworld in Lilith. The leaders, including Odin, who joined the alliance, gathered in front of a boy. Shido. On his right side was Basara and on his left was Rito. Both on guard. Both sides were talking. Give me a reason for us to believe you that you are the protector of the human world. You are looking at the heir of the king of monsters, Rito warned Azazel. They attacked the city. Territory of the heiresses of the Gremory and Citri houses. Our actions were explained and no life, whether human or supernatural, has been put in danger, Basara spoke to the leader of the heavens. According to the goddess of infinity, the Titans are powerful beings and we fear that you will use your power to destroy us. You and your stupid wars for the control of the world were responsible for leaving humanity forgotten when you could have guided it in the right direction, Rito shouted, offended that Azazel indirectly called them threats. Silence. It was the red-haired Mahu who raised his aura, silencing both parties. Then he looked at the blue-haired man seriously. I'm going to demand that you take responsibility for the actions you've committed and that you retract your statements, which as far as I'm concerned, are of no importance. Those words made the companions even angrier, but they didn't wait. The only one who doesn't deserve importance here is you, Siskin. That Shido looked up and expelled an aura more powerful and overwhelming than the Redeed. Frightening the advisors and making the leaders nervous as they tried to stand firm against the king's heir. Their politics bore me. You demand that I take responsibility for my actions when you have not taken responsibility for yours, since even your own people are capable of betraying you. A true leader must command respect from his people. At these words the elders of the demonic council became angry. Insolent brat, we will make you pay by making you our slave. But the one who spoke was overtaken by burning flames that burned him to ashes. All made by Rito. The guards were going to attack, but at Mayu's order they didn't do it. Not even your honorable advice is respected. So tell me. Are you willing to go to war against the heirs just because your beloved sister was hurt? At that, the Redeed did not speak. I thought so. We will make an agreement in which both parties will benefit. The heirs will have help from the supernaturals in times of crisis, and in exchange we will help as long as the situation is critical or our friend, heir of Gadora, gets out of control. If another heir appears in their ranks, they must notify us immediately so we can proceed. Otherwise, if another heir appears and we are not notified, we will take this as an act of betrayal of the agreement, said the blue-haired man. What do you want with Issei Hyodo? What are your plans? At Azazel's question, the blue-haired man didn't respond for a few seconds until he spoke. Prepare for what is coming, that's all I can say. And with that they leave. Leaving the leaders intrigued as they want to know, and one question is forming in their minds. What's coming? Well, in the human world. In the Hyodo mansion, the Gremory group along with the Citri looked seriously at the heirs of Behemoth and Methuselah. Naruyuki and Nafumi. Who guarded the door to the couple's room. And inside were Medaka and Miku, who watched as the goddess of infinity used a soul gem on the now unconscious Issei and Rias. A seal appeared on the brown-haired boy's stomach, while a medium-sized seal appeared at the height of the Redeed's chest. The dragon goddess was like this for about 5 minutes until she finished. I look at Miku. The bond is stronger in both of them. The feelings they have are authentic, so it is too late to remove the seal. They will not be able to separate them, heir of Mothra. I'm glad about that, she replied, smiling. Miku, this could be a disadvantage for what is coming. I know, Medaka. But I believe that love is not weakness as Rito claims. But it is strength and motivation to not only protect but also forge a better future. Just look at his hands. The blue-haired girl saw that the hands of both young men were together. They would rather die together than live separately. Medaka didn't know what to say to Miku's words. He didn't deny it. He loved seeing the couple love each other because it showed that their feelings were pure. Then 3 flashes appeared in which were Shido along with the others. So? Did you manage to separate them? Asked the leader. It can't be done, darling. Their souls are already linked, separating them will kill them. He sighed at his partner's words. Then he looked at where both demons were. We have no choice but to accept her into our group of allies. And it's official, Rito. The orange-haired boy just growled angrily when he saw that an ally could not free himself from his slavery. Rito does not see Rias as a girl who loves Issei, but rather sees her as a shackle that as long as she lives he will not be able to be free. Hey Shido. I think your companion should know what's going on, Basara told him. Okay. Miku, tell Naruyuki and Nafumi to let them in. She nodded and went to the door. Within a few seconds, both heirs let everyone through. The Gremory group went straight to see the state of their companions who were still unconscious. Office. I think it's time for a meeting. Can you help us? Okay. The dragon just levitated and a yellow flash appeared from her forehead in which she showed a gold-yellow gem. And a great flash. He mowed them all down. Everyone opened their eyes, and when they opened them they could see something incredible. A huge barred door that shone gold, and behind that door was something terrifying. Everyone was afraid of such a monster. But they saw that in front of the door were It's Issei-kun and Butchu. They're fine. That's how it is. Issei and Rias were there. The Redeed holding her lover's head in her lap while lovingly touching his brown hair. Of course that made everyone jealous, but they put those feelings aside. When they arrived. Calm down, Issei is awake, he's just weak due to a blow to his cerebellum. Rias, tell me one thing. Is that thing in the cage? It is Offa spoke, drawing everyone's attention, a great dragon that fell from the stars millennia ago. A storm that devoured both men and gods. It arrived as what humans call an invasive species. But among the titans and men, gods and demons, it was a usurper, a false king. No, I am the king. I am the only one. Not here. Everyone turned to see that it was Shido who arrived with the other heirs, and behind them colossal beings that approached. A roar was heard and everyone had to cover their ears at the colossal and terrifying sound. Then something appeared. A jet black reptile with huge dorsal plates with blue markings. The pteranodon with enormous wings and incandescent skin like magma. The moth with huge majestic wings with changing colors. A gigantic gorilla stands upright with scars on its chest and arms. A woolly ape-like creature with mammoth tusks. A rock colossus carrying a mountain on its back. And an arachnid being with enormous legs, a mouth full of tentacles and a snail shell on its back. They were the Titans. And their heirs were with them. None of the demons and angels could believe seeing colossal supreme beings who could not kill them with any effort. The young men came down and approached the cage, and the king approached as well. His steps made the place tremble, and the demons used their wings to fly away from his path. Rias was going to do it, but the drag appeared and put the couple on his back to get away. The dragon couldn't stand it, seeing the king who killed the usurper millennia ago was something he couldn't describe. When the huge lizard reached the cage, only a growl was heard. Then a deep voice was heard. Imagine Thanos' voice XD. I never thought that my eternal enemy would end up locked up like a disgusting and crawling rat. We can call this karma. Rodin approached the huge cage laughing. This place suits you, Gadora. An ironic golden cage, hahaha. How does it feel to be inside? Open the gate and I'll tell you in great detail. You tempt me, but nope. Those words not only made the other monsters laugh, but also the young people and the dragon. Apart from that, the golden titan hit the cell more with the intention of wanting to kill the demon of the skies. The gorilla approached his fire companion. You should stop looking at the memes your heir sees, they make you even more of an idiot than you already are. They are entertaining and distract me from how bitter my heir is. Hey Odin, what's that about? It was Rito who approached his predecessor. What you heard, you should find a partner and spend a night of mating so you stop being so bitter. Shut up, will you? The huge moth approached the red dragon. It's been a while, Drag, I'm glad to see you. I see you've put aside that ridiculous rivalry with Albion. My lady. I still haven't forgotten the times you stopped us and put us in our places for harming others. The dragon spoke as a sign of respect and fear before the queen of monsters. That left the others stunned. The red and white emperor dragons defeated by a moth. Oka-sen is very powerful, there is no doubt that she is the queen, said Miku, proud of her predecessor, who she sees as a maternal figure. As the goddess of infinity approached her. Mothra, how long? Millennia, I would say, since we met and you asked me to help you with the big red one. But I told you a long time ago. You don't need to exist, just live. The goddess looked at her for a few seconds until she smiled sincerely. I'm already trying, I have my guinea pig, she said, looking discreetly and seductively at the brown-haired boy who knew the other monsters and their heirs. Iridide felt a tickle in her head and looked menacingly at the goddess. If the moth had lips she would be smiling while her heiress kept laughing. While this was happening, Godzilla was talking to Ghidorah. In the end you ended up like this because of your ambition to want to shape the world to your liking. I would have done everyone a favor. They would have thanked me for not having to deal with pests like humans and supernatural beings who think they own the world. It stopped being our world the day we left. Now it is that of our heirs and the responsibility falls on them. We are no longer necessary. Can you understand that? No, I don't understand, it doesn't make sense to me. Someday. Your doubt would be clear before your eyes. The three-headed dragon, still having thoughts of doubt, walked away into the depths of the cage, leaving the king of monsters and his heir looking at that. Then Godzilla looked at Issei, who was on the drag's back along with his beloved Redeed. The chestnut felt helpless before the enormous reptile. I listened to their breathing. Your heart is wounded by pain and anguish, but you still breathe, and that is what matters. Godzilla's words were something that left the brown-haired man speechless. And after that everything went dark. The next day. Issei was in class. But. Attention, today we have new students who have just transferred to the city. Come in, announced Ross, who was now a teacher. When the door slid open, 5 people entered. People that only Issei, Asia, Zenobia and Arena knew. Those 5 people appeared in front of everyone. My name is Itsuka Shido. A pleasure, he said politely. My name is Izei Miku. Nice to meet you. The purple-haired girl smiled. I'm Yuki Arito, the heir of Rodin didn't matter much to him. My name is Yugenari Yuki. Nice to meet you, he was nervous. Toho Basara. Nice to meet you, he was relaxed. Please take care of us, they finished at the same time. While in Ria's living room with the others. My name is Iwatani Nafumi, he didn't take it seriously. I'm Kurakami Madaka. Nice to meet you, she smiled in a foxy way. As you saw, the heirs were transferred to Kao. But the serious question. So that. Are you going to help me with my power? Yes, apart from that we need a fixed place to spend a year away from some problems. Issues? You ask too many questions, Nafumi scolded Issei, who had doubts about Shido's statements. Don't worry, after a year it will be your decision whether you want to come with us or stay with your Julieta. At Miku's words, Issei blushed, as did a certain Redeed who arrived with the others and managed to hear that. Now everyone gathered in the club with Azazel present. Shido spoke. Look, Issei. We can't tell you the reasons because we still don't trust the factions. So you have to accept that what's coming will be serious. That's why we have to train you, Shido said. But there is an obstacle. Which one? The brown-haired boy asked Miku. Everyone paid attention to the heirs. Until Miku spoke. You are very prone to letting Gadora take control of you. Your negative emotions like anger, pain, heartbreak, adding your insecurity to what your girls feel for you and your fears make Gadora's job easier. That's why we will do a test. Test? Will it be dangerous? Asked Redeed, who feared the worst. There are 3 results in that test that can only happen in 2 ways. Pay attention because this is very serious. At Madaka's words, everyone, even the leader of the Fallen, turned their attention. The first result would be that if he manages to pass the test, he will be able to have access to his power, and depending on his training, he will manage to become a mature heir. Everyone felt at the result that Madaka offered. But the pleasure will not last long. The second result, if he fails, then his feelings. If not, his entire spirit will die and Gadora will be freed. To which we will have to kill him. Since the second option was a result if the chestnut were to fail. Not only did it worry everyone, but they both feared that outcome. But. Wait a minute. You said there were 3 results. What's the third one? Asia asked, wanting to know. The heirs looked at each other as if they didn't want to say it. But a certain orange-haired man spoke up. The third result would be one that you won't like. In fact, I would advise you to do it when you are in the test because you will experience so much emotional pain that your spirit would be weak and well, the rest I won't even tell you about. What is it? I ask, afraid that he won't like the proposal. You must forget your emotions that limit you. Among them, love. And you must also erase all the feelings you feel for the girls who love you, he said with a mocking smile. At that, Issei opened his eyes wide. That? Redeed got up from the chair, very furious. Stop the nonsense, Carrot, are you having fun? No, but I think it would be very cruel of me to let him suffer an obvious and predictable outcome when it could be avoided. It would be like painlessly killing a dog with a deadly disease. Why let him suffer when we can end his pain? Do you want to say Sent to forget us? To stop loving us? You're supposed to help him, Asia yelled, very angry at Rito. And this is my way of helping. I took that option and look at me, I let go of those feelings that held me back and made me weak. The girls who loved me hurt me and my king along with my queen saved me thanks to the test I recommended to you, because in the end you won't feel anything. What's more, you'll leave me with a bucking Oscar. They all looked at Rodin's heir with a desire to kill him. Something that amused him. RR. You are very wrong if you think that my Issei-kun will agree to do it. Really? Why don't you ask him in person? In fact, I'll ask you myself. He stood up to face the brown-haired boy. Would you die for them? Would you suffer the pain of deception for them? The ones who probably when they find a cute guy or one who says nice words to them, they will open their legs for him. The girls wanted to kill him for saying such things. They would never think of betraying him. They love him. They wanted to be with him. They were going to talk, but a certain chestnut tree stood up from its place. Issei, what is wrong? Why are you considering it? Those words upset everyone. Issei just walked away to the door and then left. HMP. He's not as stupid as I thought. An intelligent person prefers to avoid pain than to feel it. Redeed stood up and then grabbed Rito by the neck with one hand and with the other created a sphere of Hakai. I was furious, I wanted to kill him. The aforementioned only smiled mockingly. Which increased his anger even more. Give me a reason why I shouldn't destroy you to the atoms. If you can't accept the dark reality, then you won't be able to grow as a person. He starts to accept it. You instead cling to a vague hope that it will be just a forgotten memory. That's not going to happen. My Issei won't forget us, he won't stop loving us. According to whom? Those last words made the Redeed explode with anger, but she was stopped by Akeno and Sona, who stopped her. Rito, on the other hand, did not stop smiling. Why are you like this with us? Don't you have a heart? Irina asked, very hurt by every word the orange-haired man said. Yes, I do. Thanks to him, my blood circulates. And the truth is, it's not really personal. I'm just indifferent to relationships. Well Rito, you've had your fun. Go back and unpack your things. As you wish Shido. And I don't think it's necessary to do so. We may leave after the test, he said, the latter in a bored tone. And then he left, leaving a bitter atmosphere in everyone. I apologize on behalf of our friend. He's not very friendly with those he just met. Miku apologizes. Miku-san, I can't excuse someone who raised falsehoods against us and convinced my beloved to do such a stupid thing. Now my ice is considering leaving us. Do you know what it feels like when the person you love stops loving you? I don't know, Gremory-san. But my friend went through the same thing as you. That caught the attention of everyone present at Shido's words. What do you mean? Asia asked. Simple. Before he was recruited to our group we found him crying and asking the deceased god for answers to his pain. We managed to help him, but every day he cried and said many times, why, until we offered him the test since his power got out of control, managing to burn hectares of forests. In the end he decided to give up his emotions and to disappear all feelings for the people who hurt him, including his family. From that day he swore to himself that he would not allow another to go through the same thing as him. In short, your friend hates love. The heirs felt the fallen leader's affirmation to what Miku said. Changing the feelings of hatred they felt to one full of pity. But don't worry, Rias-chan. You are safe since your bond with him will prevent him from losing all his feelings towards you. Despite that news, she was still worried about her beloved. Her Issei. That day the club was filled with negative feelings. At night. On the roof of the big mansion. The chestnut tree was looking at the night full of stars. I didn't deny it. I was considering accepting the third option. But there was something that didn't allow it. And it was that despite his fear of getting hurt again, he still loves them. He loves the girls who are already part of his life. He loves them so much that his heart aches. It hurts him that he can't make them happy and they decide to leave him for other guys. If that day comes he wouldn't know what to do. Depression was already killing him. Partner, tell me if you can still hear me. I still hear you, Drag. You know, when I entered puberty I wanted to be the harem king because I really liked breasts. Now that I'm mature and I know what it means to be a harem king, I think the truth is I'm an idiot for aspiring to something like that. Because a woman expects you to dedicate all your attention to her. I have girls who love me and if they stop loving me because our relationships don't work, I wouldn't know what to do. That's why I was considering the third option, because if that day comes I would prefer not to be hurt when they are at the altar and the ones they are going to marry are not me. The dragon said nothing. I just listened to him in silence. But he got worried when his friend started shedding tears. Rivers of tears were coming out of his eyes, trying to hide his pain with a smile. Tell me, Drag, is it wrong to not want to suffer? Is it wrong that I want them to be happy even if it hurts me? Is it wrong that I love them so much that I want you to forget and for them to forget about me? The dragon didn't know what to say to him. In fact, he didn't know how to express to him that it would also hurt him if his friend went through something like that. But. No, my friend, it's not bad that you want that for them. The brown-haired boy turned to see Shido and Basara looking at him. Many would think you are crazy for not caring about yourself, but you are an altruistic person who wants the best for them. That is something to be admired. As Basara said. I think you are a great example for a good man. And you know. I think we know what you need for that depression of yours. What do you mean? Issei didn't understand what they were both talking about. Simple. When a man has a hurt heart or feels that he is in great pain, there is only one place to go. Where to? He asked Shido. Well, today is September 15th, so we will have a good time there. I fancy a whiskey on the rocks. I'll have a tequila, said Basara, smiling. A tequila? Both boys took the brown-haired boy by the shoulder and smiled playfully. We are going to. And in a flash the three disappeared. It dawned. And the residents were dying of anguish, especially the Redeed, who didn't know all night where her beloved brown-haired boy was. They were all in the living room waiting for news. They notified the Mayu, and Azazel put his best men to look for him. But it was already past 10 in the morning. The door opened. Wow, bartender, give me another round. Calm down, buddy, we're back home, Shido said to a brown-haired boy that the two of them were dragging along. Ice. Rias went straight to see him like the others, but when they got closer they smelled very strong. It was alcohol. Issei Hyodo, are you drunk? No one could believe what the Gremory said. Issei, the one who loves them now, was drunk. Miku arrived with Medaka and she didn't look happy at all. Something that the blue-haired boy noticed very well. Where were they? 5 minutes later. What the hell did they think it would be a good idea to go to the best bars in Mexico with an emotionally devastated guy and on September 15th? I thought it was a good idea. He needed to release his pain. But to Mexico? Mexico? It was a good choice. While king and queen were arguing, the girls had the brown-haired boy lying on one of the living room furniture. Give me a tequila for pain. Hick, because seriously this hurts like a bucking shit. Ice, you're at home. Why did you drink? You're not like that, Rias asked him, very worried about him. I don't know. Maybe it's true that I'm condemned to live with pain in my heart. Sometimes I think that they deserve someone better. Someone who loves them more than I love them. Someone who makes them happy, because by my side they will only have pain, and I don't want that in the end. Rainer is right. I don't deserve to be loved. They don't deserve to suffer by my side. He's still drunk, looks up at them. I don't deserve them, and I hope that the day they decide to leave me and be happy with others, even if it hurts me, it will be the best for all of us. They started to cry. Their loved one told them directly that he wanted their happiness even if they hurt him in the process. I hope they don't find out. Hiccup about this. They never find out about this. And there they all realized that the brown-haired boy had said those words to them without knowing that he said them directly. In the end, due to his drunkenness, he fell unconscious and the Redeed took the bottle from his hand. He gave it to Asia without looking at her. Throw it in the trash, please. She took it and went to the kitchen. Shido turned on the television and thanks to his iPhone, he connected to the device and put on a video showing a half-drunk Issei on the stage of a bar. Good night, motherfuckers. I came up to sing because I'm going through a lot today, and the truth is I'd like to let off steam on this stage with a song. I dedicate it to them. The owners of this bucking heart, and long live Mexico, motherfuckers. Everyone was screaming, and among them were Shido and Basara taking a shot of tequila. Master, play What I Asked You To. And the mariachi began to be heard. The distance between the two is growing bigger every day. Of your love and my love, nothing is left. However, the heart does not want to resign itself. To hear your sad goodbye, may it be your retirement. The voice of her beloved was beautiful, so much so that it made them fall in love even more than they already were. When you're gone, piece of my life. If I can stand loneliness, remember me a little. Because I knew how to love you, straight and without lies. And I will remember you, for God's sake, how beautiful it is. They felt their hearts beat faster than normal. Leave me something to remember, a tear and a kiss, and a piece of your hair. Don't take anything from me, because you already have everything. I am yours, only yours. That's right, Issei was one of them. The distance between the two is growing bigger every day. Of your love and my love, nothing is left. However, the heart does not want to resign itself. To hear the sad goodbye, may it be your retirement. This is for you, my loves, this crazy idiot who loves you with total madness, hahaha. They were all crying. It hurt them that he sang with that pain. And even more so when rivers of tears came out of her cheeks even while she was singing. Leave me something to remember, a tear and a kiss, and a piece of your hair. Don't take anything from me, because you already have everything. I am yours, only yours. The distance between the two is growing bigger every day. Of your love and my love, nothing is left. However, the heart does not want to resign itself. To listen to the sad goodbye. It would be a sad goodbye. May it be your retired. The applause was not long in coming, even one or another woman threw roses at the poor teenager. The video ended, and in the minds of the Gremory, there was only sadness when seeing that. That Saturday only tears were present in everyone's lives. Not knowing that this is more than a bad moment, it is something that will help both for good and for bad. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.